Hi all, this is Dr. Arpana Chatyrvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject I am taking is Web Programming. Unit 1, where I'll be covering today XHTML. Within XHTML, the various topics which I'll be covering are the introduction to XHTML and WML, difference between HTML and XHTML, standard XHTML document structure, example of XHTML which will cover basic syntax, images, hyperlink text, list and tables, creation of XHTML form, internal linking and meta. Start with XHTML, we will first talk about. So basically SGML, the full form is Standard Generalized Markup Language. It is also called as meta language, as what all web markup language you are aware of are based on SGML only. It is used to define other language and is not designed for human to write. It actually used to make its power available to all web developer, and SGML was used to create XML language also. It is an application conforming to ISO 8879. This is a language and a standard for how to specify a markup language or document markup language, particularly those which are used in electronic document exchange, document management, and document publishing or text set. Such specification is itself called as document type definition, that is DTD. SGML is not in itself a document language, but it is a description which tells how to, and it is this application consists of several parts like SGML declaration. In declaration, specify which character and delimiters may appear in the application. Then DTD, it defines the syntax of markup constructs, and it may include some additional definition also, such as numerical or character entities, that too named character entities. It is a specification that describes the semantics to be ascribed to the markup. This specification also consists of syntax restrictions that cannot be expressed within DTD. Document instances containing data and markup comes under this. Each instance consists of a reference to the DTD to be used to interpret it. HTML is one of the widely used markup language which is used as the standard for public applications. Next is XML, where XML stands for extensible markup language, and it is actually a simple version of SGML. It is also known as meta language only. XML tags are not predefined, but XML is powerful format which is used to create your own tags and attributes which will suit the type of document you are writing. It is a markup language like HTML and was designed to describe basically data. And by using XML, it is very easy to create, transfer, and manage data. By using a set of group of tags and attributes and following the rules of XML, a new markup language XHTML is created. So we can say that XHTML, which we are going to learn today, is a subset of or application of XML. And in this, if we talk about XHTML only, the full form of XHTML is Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. It is basically the next step in the evolution of the internet. XHTML 1.0 is the first document in the XHTML family, and it became so popular in World Wide Web Consortium on January 26, 2000. XHTML 1.1 became a W3C recommendation on May 31, 2001, and the standard known as XHTML5 is being developed as an XML adaptation to the HTML5 specification. So we can say that it was developed by W3C consortium to help web developer to make the transition from HTML to XML. Because by migrating a XHTML today, web developers can enter to the world. So that's why we say that this is a cleaner and much more stricter version of HTML 4.01. It is a cross between HTML and XML language. And in this, HTML is defined as an XML application which is supported by all major browsers. It is almost identical to HTML 4.0, but few differences are there which make it much stricter. That is the syntax we will be following and the case sensitivity. XHTML documents are much more well formed and parsed using standard XML parsers, unlike HTML, which require a lenient HTML specific parser. So we use XHTML because developers who migrate their content to XHTML 1.0 are having following benefits, like XHTML documents are XML conforming as they are readily viewed, edited and validated with the help of XML tools. These documents can be written to operate better than they did before in existing browsers as well as in new browsers. They can utilize applications such as scripts, applets and rely upon either the HTML document object model or XML document object model. It gives you more consistent, well-structured format so that web pages can be easily parsed by XML parser and processed by present and future web browsers also. Similarly, it is easy to maintain, edit, convert and format the document in long run also. It is an official standard. That's why website becomes more compatible with maximum browsers and get render it accurately. It combines the length of HTML and XML both together. XHTML pages can be rendered by all XML enabled browsers. And XHTML defines quality standards for your web page, and if you follow that, then your web pages are counted as quality web pages, and W3C certifies those pages with their quality stamp also. This is the example. See, HTML is mainly used to create web pages, but we can see that many pages on the internet contain so many number of bad HTML tags. That is, they are not following the HTML rule. The HTML code work fine in most of the browser, even if it is not following the HTML rules. Like see here, HTML and is the main mother tag. It should be enclosed by the end tag of HTML. Then comes head. Within head, title comes. These tags are paired tag. Head tag is supposed to be closed over here, but it is not closed. Similarly, we started with body tag. H1 tag is not closed over here. Paragraph tag is open but not closed over here. It's a bad HTML. Proper tagging is not being done. And then you see that some information is being displayed on the web page after not following the rules properly even. This like for this type of lenient way or culture that adopted by the web designers, this new XHTML came into the picture, where it introduced to combine all the strength of HTML and XML together. And XHTML is actually HTML redesigned as XML to create better formatted code. It don't facilitate you or even don't allow you to write bad formed code, unlike with HTML. And even if there are some errors, it will not be going to display the information on the page. XHTML code must be exactly same how it is to be specified to be the rules. So if we compare HTML and XHTML, there is a change in document structure. All the document must have doc type. In HTML, you have seen that you rarely write doc type. Very professional web pages are having doc type in that. Here it is mandatory to have doc type. Then XML NS attribute is a namespace which is mandatory to specify XML namespace for the document you are using. Again, this is a mandatory statement. Then all the tags, HTML head, title, body, these all tags should have a respective closing tag. As you have seen in the HTML example, the closing tags were not there. Here it is necessary to have a closing tag. Then changes in XHTML tags. All XHTML tags must be in lowercase. They must be closed. They must be properly nested. Document must have at least one root element. It is must to have one root element, whereas it was not there with HTML. Then changes all XHTML attributes. If we talk about attributes, attributes must be added properly. They must be in lowercase. The name attribute has changed. XHTML attributes cannot be shortened. Attribute values must always, it was not like this in HTML. If the value contains spaces, then only it was mandatory to enclose. This is an XHTML document wherein you can see that doc type is mandatory. You have written doc type HTML public. You are using W3C DTT XHTML 1.0 transitional EN. Then XMLNS namespace you are using from here. Then head is properly closed. Title is nested and closed. Body is open and closed. HTML is closed. So this is a proper XHTML document. If you will not write in this way, you will not be able to see the output. So XHTML syntax is very similar to HTML, but only the thing is that it is more stricter, so you have to follow the rules or in the compliance properly. You have, as I already told you, you should write doc type. All HTML tags should be in lowercase, as well as attribute should also be in lowercase, should be closed properly, nested properly, attribute value should be quoted, forbid attribute should be minimized, name attribute is not over there, in spite of name now we will be using ID, and the language attribute of the script tag is not there. So first of all, the rule to write doc type. All XHTML document must have doc type declaration at the starting. There are three types of doc type. You can use any one of that. One is your transitional doc type. For this you have to write doc type HTML public W3C DTD XHTML 1.0 transitional /en. It is from w3org/tr/xhtml1/d XHTML-transitional DTD. The rules for doc type declaration, they defines three DTDs. Most commonly used one is transitional. XHTML 1.0 DTD corresponds to three DTD. One is strict, second is transitional, third is frame set. There are few XHTML elements and attributes which are available in one DTD but not available in another. While writing your XHTML document, you must select your XHTML elements or attributes carefully. However, XHTML validator help you to identify valid as well as invalid elements and attribute if you check through validator. First is strict. For this, what you will be writing? Doc type HTML public W3C DTD XHTML 1.0. Say it is same everywhere. Only the thing is you will be writing strict //en, and here also the DTD name is XHTML 1-strict DTD. So this we will be using if you are planning to use cascading style sheet strictly and avoiding to write most of the XHTML attributes, then it is recommended to use this DTD. Otherwise, for transitional, you will be again, if you are using CSS, you can use this DTD. In this, only the thing difference is here in spite of strict you will be writing transitional, and here in spite of strict you will be mentioning that this DTD is XHTML1-transitional dot. Next is frame set. Whenever you are using HTML frames to partition the browser window into two or more than two frames, then you will be using frame set DTD. Here you have to write frame set in place of transitional or strict, and the name of DTD you have to mention is XHTML1-frameset.dtd. So whatever DTD you are using to write your XHTML document, if it is valid XHTML document, then your document is considered as a good. Next is feature is it is case sensitive. So XHTML is case sensitive. You have to be very much particular while writing tag as well as attributes. Both should come in lower case only. Like if you have written capital A over here or capital H over here, this is wrong. So you have to write everything in small, tag as well as attributes, and the value should always be enclosed within double quotes. Closing tag, if you have opened some close, it should have a closing tag. This here P is open but the closing tag is not over here. Here IMG is open but it is not closed. So this is a wrong way. You have to close each and every tag you are, like P is being closed with /P, and for IMG this slash symbol we will be using to close, because it is not enclosed or embedded within some value which is to be affected by this. So that's why these kind of tags are to be closed in this way. Attribute codes, these attribute codes are must. If you are using attribute value and single value even, it is must to give a code to the value. If you will not give, it will be not going to render your tag. Like here 250 and 50 is also to be written within double quotes. In HTML this it was not there, whereas in XHTML each and every value is to be enclosed within quotes. Attribute minimization. XHTML doesn't allow at all to minimize the attribute. It means that if you want to need some attribute, it should have a value. Like option selected, no meaning. It will not be going to execute. If you are using option selected, there should be a value that is equals to selected. These are the list of minimized attributes in HTML and the way you need to write them in XHTML. In HTML you are able to write compact only or checked or declare, read only, disabled, selected, defer, is map, no href, no shade, no wrap, multiple, no resize. Here in XHTML it is not at all like this. For each and every attribute you have to use equals to and within double quotes the value of the attribute. The IT attribute, name attribute is not over there. Now you will not be using in XHTML. You have to use in place of name ID. This we used to use while doing coding and all. So here we will be using ID, we will not be using name. Closing tag at the out. These are the elements which are not allowed to be used inside them, like you cannot nest them. These are prohibited, like anchor. It must not contain other anchor element. Within pre you cannot have image, object, big, small, super or subscript element. Within button you cannot have input, select, text area, label, button, form, field set, iframe and is index. Label must not contain another label inside that, and for form tag also must not have another form element or tag inside. Minimal XHTML document is like this. First of all, you will be mentioning XML version, encoding, UTF, Unicode text format, then the DTD you will be using, then must to include namespace, XMLNS, then you will start writing the document, taking care of all the aspects which I just explained you. XML attributes are of three types. One is core attribute, next is language attribute, and Microsoft proprietary attribute. These are the core attributes which you will be using. Not valid in base, head, HTML, meta, param, script or style and title element. The attributes are class, for giving a rule to the element within CSS. ID also used to define the rule for a element, CSS rule. Style, inline style definition with title, the value tooltip underscore text. So these are used, the values within these all attributes, and they perform this particular task. These are the core attributes. In language attribute, dir and lang term, the value is LTR and RTL for dir, which sets the text direction left to right or right to left, and lang's value is language code, which sets the language code. So in language code, you can use some abbreviations such as FR for French, EN for English, as you have seen mentioned in DTD also. Not valid in base tag, BR, frame, frameset, HR, iframe, param and script element. In these tags, you cannot use these all attributes. Microsoft proprietary attributes are following, like access key, the value is character. It sets a keyboard shortcut to access an element if you want to give. Language, the value is string. This attribute specify the scripting language you are using to write or design a web page. Typically it is used for as an event handler. Possible values can be JavaScript, JScript, VB script, etc. You can give tab indexing also. The value is number. It sets the order of tab of an element you want. Other are content editable. It allows user to edit the content, render it in Internet Explorer 5.5 or greater. Disabled, it's a boolean, both are boolean, true and false values it has. It disables the attribute. Sets may appear faded or will not respond to user response if you disable it. Hide focus is also on or off. This proprietary attribute introduced Explorer 5.5 hides the focus of an element content. Focus must be applied to the element using tab index attribute if you want. Unselectable, it is also having on or off value. It is used to prevent content display in Internet 5.5 from being selected. XHTML events, we can perform different events also. We can trigger different events by clicking on text, images, hyperlinks, or you can say we can hover the mouse over anything. We can write our own event handlers also in JavaScript or VB script. We can specify our event handlers as a value of event tag attributes. The HTML 1.0 has a similar set of events which is available with HTML 4.0 also. This body and frame set level events are over there. There are only two attributes which are used to trigger any JavaScript or VB script code when any event occurs. This body and frame set level events, as I said, there are only two events at document level, that is onload and on unload. On unload and onload both are having value script. Script run in case of onload when a HTML documents load, and script runs in case of on unload when XHTML document. Form level events are over there. Those are 6 in number, and these are on change. When any element get changed, the script execute. On submit, when form is submitted, the script execute. On reset, when form is reset, the script get execute. On select, whenever any element is selected on which script is being embedded, the script get execute. On blur, when element loses focus, and on focus, when an element. There are so many number of keyboard events also. These are 3 in numbers. These are keyboard events are not valid with base, BDO, BR, frame set, head, HTML, iframe, meta, param, script, style, etc. The keyboard events which we can use in XHTML are on key down, on key press, and on key up. On key down, the script execute on key press. And on key press when we release the key press. after pressing, and key up is when execute key release. There are other events also which are again not valid for the previously mentioned tags. Those are on click, that is on a mouse click, on DBL click, on double click, on mouse down, on mouse move, on mouse out, on mouse over, and on mouse up. Now W3C XHTML validation service, we should remember that they are syntactically correct and guaranteed to render the property. They contain syntax error, it may not display properly. Validation services are validator.w3.org. It ensures that the XHTML document is body and HTML tag are to be closed. So this is the output which is shown over here. You see paragraph, this is paragraph displayed in place of title. This is a title in the title bar, and this is H1 heading tag. So it is coming in bold and in a bigger font style. Next is heading tags. There are 6 heading tags, H1 to H6. All are to be used in small cases only. H1 is considered with the largest font size and H6 with the smallest. This is how we use. Rest of the things are same. Only title is appeared as here. I mentioned the title. Title is coming as it is over here. Then this is a heading tag. Then these are the different H1, H2, H6 tags which are in decreasing order. So you can see, and all the tags are properly paired. So it is mandatory to pair all the tags. All are in small case. Title, this is a title, this is a heading, and this is a, these are the all 6 levels of heading. Next is hyperlink. You can create a hyperlink also. These hyperlinks can be created with the HTML document as well as images. Browser typically underline the hyperlink text or image with the blue color. You can insert links with the A element. A element is used to create anchor, and href is a anchor, or you can say hyperlink. Href is an attribute which is used to specify that when you click on a particular element, which particular resource file should get open, or which resource file you want to link with. Anchors can also link to an email address using mail to. When a user click on this type of anchored link, most of the browser launch default email programs to Outlook Express to initiate an email message address. So here you can see these all are the mandatory things which I already explained you to be written. XML version, then DTD, then name. So, and this you can use a mail to also. How you will be using? Within paragraph, I am writing over here Jins BCA HOD. When you click on this, it should take you to this mail ID. I can directly write the mail. So this is a attribute value mail to colon, then the mail ID. On clicking on any of the link, if you want that directly, it should go to the mailbox. So it will go in XHTML. It usually open the Outlook Express. This is how the output will look like. This is the heading tag, this is paragraph, this heading is aligned center, this is again a small heading tag, this is the anchor tag. When you click over here, this kind of window will get open where you can write to CC, BCC and subject, and you can start writing the mail and you can send it. Next is image tag. For embedding image, img element is used with src attribute. Every img element must have an alt attribute which tells that what this image is all about. Alt attributes makes web pages more accessible to the people who are disabled, who are especially vision impairments, uses vision impairment. Width and height are the only optional attributes. If omitted, then also it will render the image with its actual height and width. Images are always measured in pixels. Some XHTML elements are empty elements that contain only attributes, do not mark up text. IMG is one of that. And such type of empty elements should be enclosed by / at the end. Before closing the right angle bracket, you have to put this / symbol. This is an example. XML version mandatory, DTD mandatory, namespace mandatory. It's a documentation. Within head, title, body is closed, HTML is finally closed. Within this, within paragraph, IMG SRC is equals to the name of our image, width, height you can mention. Alt is mandatory, and this / before closing the IMG tag. So this is how it looks like. This is the image of Vasant Kunj campus is looking, and this is the library image. So this is how we do. Button with the website, with our campus website. For courses list button is over there. For contact button is over there. For guest speaker another button is over there. For table button is over. So these are the buttons. For giving you a sample, I clicked on home button, and this website home page just opened over here. This is a title which I have given over there. This is a heading tag, this is a paragraph tag. We can use special symbols in XHTML. These special symbols are actually some entity references in the form code for representing characters that cannot be rendered otherwise. The code can be word abbreviations, numbers, decimals, hexadecimal, or you can say ampersand character, like how we do ampersand AMP will represent ampersand, for decimal ampersand #38, for hexadecimal. How we'll be using, you can see over here, most browser render a horizontal rule also using HR tag. HR is an empty tag, that's why it should have a closing tag also. Example, here I have used HR tag over here. See, this is a HR tag, and I use certain abbreviation like sub for subscript, EM for emphasis, sup for superscript, strong, and this is a special character. For copyright I have used ampersand copy. For ampersand I have used ampersand AMP, and you can see the output also how it is looking like. This is for strike through, this is superscript, this is the fractional symbol. To appear the symbol like this, 1/4, I said fraction 1/4. LT for less than bracket. How it is looking, see, this is copyright, this is, it's like uh, deleting the line, this is subscript, this is superscript, this is less than symbol, this is fractional symbol. So this is all these are HTML. Now come to list. It supports ordered and unordered list both. Unordered list UL is a element which is used to create a unordered list. The list begins with a bullet symbol, that is disk. Each entry is made by li. Example, here I have used UL. UL is closed here. Within this li tags are used. Li will create a unordered list, and within unordered list you can mention whatever list content you want to mention over here. This is how it is looking like. I have created the hyperlink with all the list elements. And these are the list elements: GIMS Vasant Kunj, GIMS Kalkaji, GIMS Vasant Kunj 1, and Greater Noida. This is a bullet over here. It's an unordered list which is hyperlinked. Example of definition list. You can create definition list also, in which you can give the definition of the terms. It will be like DL is a definition list, then DT is a definition term, DT is closed within DL, then DT is definition, then definition will be tag will be closed, it will be the definition of the term, and then we can give as many term and definition we want to give within definition list, and at the end we will be closing the definition list. See, this is the definition list. Within this definition list, this is the term, this is the definition, this is the term, this is the definition, this is the term, this is the definition. So you can create definition. Third list, which is this is this unordered list, innermost unordered list, then outermost unordered list. So if you look over here clearly, this ordered list started over here, closed over here. Within this, for business, for pleasure, this one, two. This is closed over here. Similarly, OL. This is XML, Java, HTML, new languages. This all five. OL closed over here. OL. And this is for these lists, new games, new applications, and all programming. So we have used UL from here, and this UL closed over here. After new languages, UL closed. Then came the outermost list, which we have started from here and closed finally here. So the list can be nested properly, should have a proper opening and closing tags. Problem. So this is again explained in a much more wider way, as I just explained you. Table elements, XHTML support table also. You can create your own table. For this you can mention caption also. Main heading. It has three distinct sections. One is head, that is T head. Within T head, the table titles and column headers will be there. Then T body comes. Within T body, primary table data will come, which consists of table row and table columns. Then T footer will be over there with footnote of table. TR we use to define a table row, TH for header of a cell, TD for table. Within header, this header is closed over here. Within table, table header contains one row with two columns. Table footer contains one row with two columns, and table body contains 4 rows with 2 columns, and each and every section is having a closing tag also. Close the table. This is table caption, this is table header, this is table footer, and these are the rows of table body. Use call span and row span also. Call span and row spans are the attributes which are used to merge data cells row wise as well as column wise. See, table heading, where the camel image is appearing, their row span is equals to 2. It is covering or merging 2 rows together because image is bigger. Whereas within this row only, it has covered 2 rows, and this is the third heading in which it is covering 4 columns. So see the output. How many columns, how many data elements we have written? 2. With this th we said row span is equals to 2, and with this table heading we said call span is equals to 4. So a total number of columns are 5 in number. So to rest of the places we have mentioned 5 columns in 2 rows. Next is form. You can create your own form also. Within form, we can have all visual components like buttons, text boxes or text area, check boxes, then radio buttons. Forms may also contain some non-visual components like hidden inputs, The form should have a element form to be used, and in this attribute method is over there which tells that how you will be communicating with the server, and this action attribute will be telling that how the data you will be. So in this, the various using within paragraph. See this paragraph. So paragraph here also within paragraph I am enclosing all the attributes. Within paragraph I am enclosing all the attributes. All the tags are having a close tag. These are not having affected content. That's why before closing this tag I am using forward slash and that right angled symbol. So this is how I have created. This is the output. This is name. This is a text box. These are the two buttons which are being appeared over here. Similarly, we can see other elements also. We can have multi-line text boxes called text area, which can be specified with number of rows and columns we are looking for. We can have. So this is again one more form we will be looking, which will be having check boxes. Check boxes, a user can select any number of options. In radio buttons, user can select at a time one option only. There is a select input also, which create a drop down list. The BR element also, which will be creating line break. So in this, the form. In this again we start with body h1 feedback form. Please fill the form. Method is equals to post. For form the attribute method is equals to post. Action we can write, and these are the details which are hidden, in which they are saying ki who is the recipient and who is the what will be the subject, and what this form will be, where this form will be going to redirect. The name text box we are appearing with label name. Then for comments, there is a text area, name is comment, rows are 4, columns are 36. They can say enter comments here. It's a closing close tag, it's a paired tag, we'll be closing it with text area. Then for email address, the label is email address. Input name is equals to email, type is equals to password. It's a password field we have created over here. Then for creating a checkbox, we are writing input name is equals to the name you can give. Same name I have given to all the checkboxes. Type is equals to checkbox. And I mentioned the value for each and every checkbox. Similarly for radio button, I have given the name, same name to all the radio buttons. Type is radio. Values are different. One property I have used, that is checked. Checked is equals to checked, which is mandatory to give in XHTML we studied today. So this is how I have created the radio. Now to create a list box, we will start with select tag. Select name is equals to, will give name to the list box. Within this option tag will be coming. All the tags are paired tag. We will give the options in this. One option is selected, for which the value is also mentioned. Selected is equals to within double quote selected, and the value we want to be selected at that particular time. All the form elements are enclosed within paragraph. Wherever we want to give label, we are using label tag. These are also the second most tag to be closed before paragraph tag. These are the buttons. At last form will be closed, then body, and then HTML. How the form will look like. This is a text box, this is a text area, this is a password field, these are the check boxes. Within box bracket it is appearing, and then these are the radio buttons. In oval these are appearing. It's a list box, list is open over here, and these are the two buttons. So in this, next is your internal linking. A tag can be used to link another section of the same document also. We can do self-referencing also. If the document is very large and you want that within document only the cursor should move from top to down, down to top, or to the any of the subtitle which is mentioned over there, you will be using syntax as hash and the name. I mentioned to go to favorite box, you have to go to this particular bookmark, and this bookmark, how I am mentioning, a anchor tag href is equals to hash bugs. Now the text on clicking of which it should reach to this portion, we am linking this portion with this particular section, then closing anchor tag, then p tag. So it will take me over there. So this means it is for internal linking, it is mentioned, it is mandatory to have a id element, as well as it is mandatory the moment candidate click on go to favorite bugs, the cursor will take to the favorite bug portion. When the candidate click on go to favorite features, the cursor will take to the go to favorite bugs at that time. Then comes meta element of form. Meta element is very important for search engine purpose. Whenever you are creating a HTML documents, you have to write the documentation about the document you have created. It's like a catalog. In this, name attribute identifies the type of meta element, and contents tell that what all contents are there in the document. You have to use keywords also. It provides search engine a list of words that describe a page which are compared whenever the search takes place by any of the search engine. And description element provides a 3 to 4 line of description in a sentence which are to be used by search engine, and which again search engine takes care of to know that whether the information end user is looking for is lying in the particular page or not. If it lies, it will display that page in SERP, that is search engine result section has been displayed, but this is for the background purpose, that is for, so this is how it looks like. This is all about XHTML. Uh, do assignment also. You can create your own XHTML document. You can use style sheet in the ordered list, table, borders, padding, color of tag you can change. You can make your own website also, which can have table, menu, some photographs, image maps in that. You can create a feedback form also to learn how the form tag can be used. You can create a form also in which there is an entry for the marks of all the students, and just create a mark list also, and learn how to use all the tags, all the elements and attributes I taught you. Thank you for the day. See you in next.